Imagine this. You finally get the keys to your very first rental property. You stand in the empty living room, the sunlight pouring in, and you think, this is it. This is how people build wealth. But then a tiny voice whispers in the back of your mind, what if I mess this up? What if I get a bad tenant? What if something breaks and I do not know what to do? Most new landlords feel this exact fear. And here's the twist. The difference between a profitable rental and a nightmare often comes down to the first few decisions you make right now. In this video, you will learn how to manage your first rental property with confidence, step by step. And near the end, I will share the one mistake that quietly destroys more beginner landlords than anything else. You do not want to miss that. Number 1, set up your business foundation early. The moment you buy a rental, you are not just a property owner. You are running a small business, and like any business, the foundation determines everything that follows. Think of it like building a house. If the foundation cracks, it doesn't matter how nice the kitchen looks. Start by opening a separate bank account just for your rental income and expenses. This keeps things clean for tax season and helps you instantly see if your property is actually profitable. For example, imagine collecting $1,200 in rent every month. If that money sits in your personal account, it gets mixed with groceries, gas, and everyday bills. You will never know your real cash flow. But if the rent goes into its own account, you might notice that after paying the mortgage, insurance, repairs, and property taxes, you still have $200 left over. That is your true profit. Some beginners also set up an LLC for liability protection. This is optional, but many landlords do it for peace of mind. Think of an LLC like a safety barrier, keeping your personal assets separate from your rental business. Talk to a professional before setting this up because every situation is different. Number 2, understand what rent you should charge. Most beginners either charge too much and scare away good tenants or charge too little and lose money every month. The secret is simple. Your rent must match the local market and the condition of your property. Start by checking rental prices for similar homes in your area. Look for homes with the same number of bedrooms, similar square footage, and similar condition. For example, if nearby 2-bedroom rentals in good shape are going for $1,100 to $1,300, you should stay in that range. Do not price your rental based on how much mortgage you pay. Tenants do not care about your loan. They care about value. If you upgrade something like new appliances or fresh paint, you can sometimes justify a slightly higher rent. But if your property looks outdated, it is better to price competitively and fill the unit fast.
A vacant property earns $0, and every month it sits empty is money gone forever. Number 3, create a tenant screening system. This is one of the most important steps because a great tenant makes your life easy, and a bad tenant makes you want to sell the house tomorrow. Screening is not about being picky, it is about being consistent. Good landlords follow the same process for everyone. Check credit to see how they handle money. Someone who regularly pays bills late might do the same with rent. Check their income. Many landlords want a tenant who earns at least 3 times the monthly rent. So if rent is $1,200, the tenant should earn around $3,600 each month. Verify their job. A quick phone call to the employer can confirm they actually work there. Call previous landlords. This is where you find gold. Ask questions like, did they pay on time? Did they take care of the property? Would you rent to them again? If a previous landlord hesitates, pay attention. For example, imagine 2 applicants. One applicant makes a little less money, but their previous landlord says they were respectful, clean, and always paid early. The other applicant makes more money, but their old landlord refuses to comment. The first applicant might be the safer choice.
Number 4, use a strong lease agreement. A handshake is not enough. Your lease is your protection. A good lease explains everything clearly so there is no confusion later. It should include rent amount, due date, late fees, move-in and move-out rules, pet rules, maintenance responsibilities, and what happens if someone breaks the agreement. For example, if you allow pets, your lease should state what kind, how many, and whether you charge a pet deposit. If you do not include those things, you cannot enforce them later. Imagine a tenant moves out and you discover a huge stain on the carpet from their dog. If your lease never mentioned a pet fee or pet rules, you might have to pay for the damage yourself. Do not copy a random lease from the internet. Use a lease from your state because rental laws change from place to place. Many new landlords get into trouble simply because they use the wrong paperwork. Number 5. Document the move-in condition. Before a tenant moves in, take photos and videos of everything: walls, appliances, floors, windows, sinks, even small cracks. Record it all. This protects you when it is time for the tenant to move out. For example, imagine a tenant claims the refrigerator was already dented when they arrived, but you have a photo showing the refrigerator was perfect. That photo saves you from paying for damage you did not cause. This simple step is one of the easiest ways to protect your security deposit. Number 6. Communicate like a professional.
Think of communication as your customer service. Tenants stay longer when they feel respected and heard, and long-term tenants mean fewer vacancies and more consistent income. Respond to messages within a reasonable time. You do not have to reply instantly, but ignoring a tenant for days only makes small issues turn into big ones. For example, if a tenant reports a small leak, you can say, "Thanks for letting me know. I will check this first thing tomorrow." That short response shows you are paying attention. If you ignore them, that tiny leak might turn into a broken ceiling and the $1,000 repair. Being polite does not mean being a pushover. You can be respectful and firm at the same time. Number 7. Handle maintenance the smart way. Every property has problems eventually. Something will break, something will leak, something will get old. This is normal. The real question is how you handle it. Create a simple system for maintenance requests. Tenants should know exactly how to contact you. Some landlords use email. Some use a form. Choose what is easiest for you. Set aside money every month for repairs. A good guideline is to save around 10% of the monthly rent for maintenance. So, if rent is $1,200, save about $120 each month. This creates a repair fund. Do not delay repairs. Fast repairs keep tenants happy and reduce damage. For example, fixing a small roof leak for $100 today can prevent a $2,000 ceiling repair later. Build a list of reliable repair people: a plumber, electrician, handyman, and HVAC technician. You do not want to be searching for help during an emergency. You want someone you trust ready to go. Number 8. Understand your legal responsibilities. Every state has landlord and tenant laws. These laws exist to protect both sides. For example, many states require landlords to provide safe living conditions, working smoke detectors, and proper notice before entering the home. If a tenant stops paying rent, you can't just change the locks. You must follow a legal eviction process, and that process is different depending on your state. This is the part that scares beginners the most. But the truth is simple. If you follow the law and keep clear records, you will be fine. For example, if you ever need to send a notice, send it in writing and keep a copy. If you talk to a tenant about an issue, write down the date and what you talked about. These small habits protect you if a legal problem ever happens. Number 9. Collect rent the easy way. Do not collect rent in cash unless you have no other choice. Cash gets lost. Cash cannot be tracked. Instead, use an online system where tenants can pay using a card or bank transfer. For example, some landlords use systems where tenants can set up automatic payments. This reduces late payments because the money comes out automatically.
If rent is due on the 1st, your lease should clearly state what happens if it is late. Maybe there is a late fee after a short grace period. A late fee is not about punishment, it is about encouraging on-time payments. Stick to your policy. If you bend the rules once, tenants will push the boundaries again. Number 10. Keep your property clean and updated. You do not need granite countertops or luxury appliances, but a well-maintained rental attracts better tenants and higher rent. Think of small upgrades that make a big impact. Fresh paint, clean carpets, new lighting, modern door handles, updated faucets. For example, spending $150 on new lighting can make a room look newer and brighter. A tenant might choose your property over a similar one simply because it feels cleaner and fresher. Preventative maintenance also saves money. Cleaning gutters, servicing the HVAC system, and checking for leaks can prevent bigger problems later. Number 11. Treat your rental like a long-term wealth tool. Your goal is not just to collect rent each month. Your goal is long-term wealth. Every mortgage payment builds equity. Every year, your property might rise in value. You are growing something that can change your financial future. For example, imagine holding a rental for 10 years. In that time, the tenant pays down your mortgage while the property value increases. Even if you earn only a small monthly profit, the long-term gain can be huge. This mindset helps you stay calm when problems happen, because every successful landlord knows the truth. Problems come and go, but well-managed rentals build real wealth. Number 12. The hidden mistake that destroys beginner landlords. Here it is. This is the mistake almost no beginner talks about, but nearly every beginner makes. They think they can do everything from memory. They forget to track expenses. They forget to document conversations. They forget move-in photos. They forget repair details. And when a problem arises, they have no proof. This mistake can cost thousands of dollars in lost rent, legal issues, or repair disputes. The solution is simple. Do not rely on your memory. Rely on your system. Create a folder for each tenant. Keep copies of messages, receipts, photos, and notes. Organized landlords stay profitable landlords. Number 13. Learn how to run the numbers before making decisions. Many new landlords trust their emotions instead of the math. But rental properties are a numbers game. When you know how to calculate profit, repairs, cash flow, and long-term returns, you make stronger decisions and avoid costly surprises. A simple formula many landlords use is this. Take your monthly rent and subtract every expense: mortgage, insurance, property taxes, vacancy savings, repair savings, and property management fees if you ever use one. Whatever is left over is your real cash flow.
For example, if your property rents for $1,400, but your total expenses equal to $1,200, then you earn $200 in real profit. If the profit is much lower than expected, it may be a sign that you need to raise rent in the future, reduce expenses, or make upgrades that increase value. Knowing the numbers makes every decision easier because the math always tells the truth. Number 14. Create a vacancy plan before you need one. Every rental property becomes vacant at some point. The worst time to figure out what to do is the day your tenant hands in their notice. Smart landlords prepare early. Write down a simple plan. How many days will it take you to clean and repair the property? How fast can you take new photos? Where will you advertise? Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, Apartments.com, or local groups? Who will show the unit? For example, if you plan for a 7-day turnaround, you will have a new tenant faster, which reduces the number of days you are losing money. A beginner landlord who panics might take 3 weeks to get the place ready. That delay can cost over $1,000 in lost rent. Number 15. Build a move-out procedure that protects you. Move-outs can get messy when things are not clearly explained. A good move-out procedure keeps everything smooth and protects your security deposit. Give tenants a checklist before they leave. Tell them how clean the home should be, how to return keys, and what items they must remove. This reduces arguments and misunderstandings. For example, if your checklist says the oven must be cleaned, the carpets vacuumed, and all nails removed from walls, then the tenant knows exactly what to do to get their full deposit back. If any part is missing, you can deduct costs fairly because expectations were written down. Number 16. Preventive inspections to stop problems early. Many landlords only check their property once a year, or never. That is risky. A small issue can grow into an expensive repair if you do not see it early. Doing a quick inspection every 6 months can save you thousands. Check things like water leaks, smoke detectors, AC filters, locks, and general cleanliness. For example, imagine discovering a tiny drip under the bathroom sink during a routine check. That simple drip might cost $20 to fix today, but if nobody sees it for months, it could cause mold or cabinet damage costing hundreds. Preventive inspections protect your investment and keep you ahead of problems. Number 17. Stay ahead of market trends. Rental markets change all the time. Prices rise or fall. Cities change rules. Neighborhoods grow or decline. Staying informed helps you make smarter decisions. You can follow local real estate news, join landlord groups, or watch rental market reports. This helps you understand when you should adjust rent, when to make upgrades, or when to be more flexible.
For example, if local demand for rentals increases by 10%, landlords who notice it early raise their rents and earn more each year. Landlords who ignore the market get left behind and lose money without even realizing it. Number 18. Consider offering amenities that make renters stay longer. Small conveniences can make tenants stay for years, and long-term tenants mean fewer vacancies and fewer headaches. Some landlords offer simple upgrades like keyless entry pads, better Wi-Fi equipment, or included lawn care. These small improvements cost little but give tenants a better experience. For example, installing a $40 keypad lock means tenants never worry about losing keys. It also allows easier access for maintenance workers. This tiny upgrade increases tenant satisfaction and makes the property feel modern. Happy tenants stay longer and take better care of your home. Number 19. Build an emergency plan for unexpected situations. Things like storms, sudden repairs, or a tenant emergency can happen out of nowhere. Having a plan reduces stress and helps you respond confidently. Write down who to call for electrical issues, who to call for plumbing emergencies, and where the main shutoff valves are located. Share basic emergency information with your tenants too. For example, if a pipe bursts at 2 a.m., a tenant who knows how to shut off the water can save you from thousands of dollars in damage. A simple one-page emergency guide gives tenants clear instructions and protects your property. Number 20. Treat tenants with respect even when you disagree. Managing a rental is not always smooth. You might have disagreements about repairs, cleaning, or late payments. But the landlords who stay profitable long-term are the ones who stay calm, firm, and respectful. Respect does not mean letting tenants break rules. It means speaking clearly, keeping emotions out of it, and using the lease as your guide. For example, if a tenant pays late, you do not argue. You simply say, according to the lease, the late fee applies. Friendly but firm. This reduces conflict and builds a more professional relationship. Over time, being respectful pays off because tenants treat your property with the same respect you show them. Managing your first rental property does not have to feel overwhelming. With structure, clear communication, and simple systems, you can avoid the biggest mistakes and grow your wealth with confidence. What question do you want to ask about managing your first rental property?